Although the Xperia Z3 is an excellent phone, there's still room for improvement with Sony's next phone, the Z4. In this video, I'll talk about 10 changes I'd like to see. I didn't pick anything unrealistic and think we will see at least some of these features when the Z4 is announced sometime later this year. At 10, I'd want stronger glass on both sides of the phone. The Xperia Z3 is a great looking phone, but also fragile. If the glass breaks, it costs a lot of money to replace because it's waterproof, so it's a more complicated process to repair it. Further, nearly the entire phone is made of glass, so the backside is easier to break than most phones like the Galaxy. Hopefully both sides of the phone, and not just the front screen, are made with the best materials possible. For number 9, I like the design of the Z3 and don't think it needs a big overhaul, but for the Z4 I'd want to see a thinner, lighter overall design and smaller bezels, especially compared to the larger Verizon Z3V variant. This isn't a huge deal, but it'll be nice to see some improvements, especially if they make a larger screen. At 8, it'll be cool to see a Quad HD screen. Xperia Z3 can record 4K videos, though the Z3 screen is only 1080p. The only reason this isn't higher on my list is because I'm skeptical of how much it will negatively affect battery performance. Regardless, most high-end phones in 2015 will likely use Quad HD screens, so it's important for Sony to match the competition. Next at number 7 is an IR blaster, which lets you use your phone as a remote control for the TV. Several phones like the HTC One have this feature, and there's various apps you can download and use to replace your remote control. It's just more convenient than always looking for the remote. Now, some of the initial Xperia devices like the Z actually had this, but Sony took it out of recent Xperias, so it would be nice to see the feature return for the Z4. For 6, I'd like to see improvements in the PS4 remote play. I've had a lot of fun with remote play on my Xperia, but the PS Vita allows you to remote play over Wi-Fi away from your house and also offers a more stable experience for some users. PS Vita also allows you to connect directly to PS4 without the Wi-Fi, which is good for those without the best Wi-Fi connection speeds. I also sometimes run into connection issues when I try to connect my DualShock 4 to the phone. I'd like to see some of the Vita technology and software included in the Z4 to make it the best remote play experience possible. At 5 is Qi wireless charging. Now the Xperia Z3V on Verizon already has this feature, but the regular Z3 has magnetic charging. Qi is a lot better in my opinion and will eventually become the standard in wireless charging. It's a great convenient feature that I like to see in all Xperia phones and tablets going forward. Number 4 is related. I don't want a waterproof cover flap over the micro USB slot anymore, but I still want the phone to be waterproof. Sony managed to make it so the Z3 doesn't need a cover over the headphone jack, so if it's possible to do the same for the micro USB slot, that would be a great improvement. Now there's some rumors about this happening, so hopefully they're true. If the cover breaks, the phone won't be waterproof anymore, which is one reason I like using the wireless charging rather than always opening the cover. However, there's still times when I need to access the micro USB slot, which is why not having the cover anymore would be a nice feature. At 3 is a Snapdragon 810 processor and 4GB of RAM. This is what I think most high-end phones will have in 2015, and if Sony wants to have the best hardware, this is probably the best option available today. I'm using my phone more and more than my laptop for many tasks, so top-of-the-line specs will help it remain my most used device. Plus, better specs will help future-proof it. Number 2 is continued battery improvements. Sony has been improving battery life with each new Xperia device that comes out. Not only are they increasing battery capacity, but also modifying the hardware and software components to make it one of the longest-lasting phones on the market today. The battery on the Z3 really is incredible, and I never have to charge it throughout the day. I'd also like to see some things like the Droid Turbo Rapid Charging. For this phone, you can get up to 8 hours of power in just 15 minutes of charging. Finally, number 1 is camera improvements. The camera, particularly the video camera on the Z3 is great. In my opinion, the Z3 shoots the best video footage of any smartphone. That said, there's still flaws which keeps the entire package from being as great as it could be. The camera is 20.7 megapixels and shoots in 4K. Now, the resolution doesn't need to be improved, but there's other areas that do. The software for one can be a lot better. Dual flash LED and optical image stabilization are 2 more things. For taking stills, the autofocus is better in some other phones. Also, the front-facing camera is only 2 megapixels and can be better. Sony is one of the best camera manufacturers in the world, and with some improvements, the Z4 can have the best smartphone camera in the world. So that concludes the list. Now, of course, there's other areas Sony can improve, but I just listed 10, and everyone's list will be different. Now, I don't expect all these features to be in the Z4, but hopefully a lot of them will happen. Thanks for watching, and let me know what features you'd like to see in the comments below.